So, life has been kicking my Nevertheless, I am back, and back with a vengeance. Wait, don't you need to be vengeful to be back with a vengeance? Nevertheless, I am back, and black with a black? Nevertheless, I am back, and back with a plum. Plum? Nevertheless, wait, why can't it ever be never the more? Welcome back to Hbkards, True Duelist Kingdom. A long time ago, I said that my next vid would be on Infinite Tribes version of Infinity format. First off, let me give you all a quick reminder of what Infinity format is. Infinity format is a version of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm starting that focuses on slower and more interactive gameplay. Now, the rules to the game are largely the same as always. You still have to tribute summon high-level monsters, traps still have to be set before being activated, so on and so forth, Yu-Gi-Oh, right? But the available card pool focuses more on making the best of what you currently have. In this format, there are a couple restrictions and rule changes to keep in mind, such as the effects of cards that search archetype monsters are not allowed to be activated. Sorry, no Stratos here. This counts for all zones and all cards that will be added from anywhere. Mind you, you can still play the card itself, and any other effect that the card has can still be activated, unless it's a mandatory archetype monster searching effect. In that case, the card itself is unplayable, or playing that card and trying to use that effect will end in an auto loss, unfortunately. Other rules include the first turn player gets to draw for turn. Newly activated field spells destroy old ones. Trap monsters still occupy the spell and trap card zones they originated in. You can still search for cards by way of type, attribute, attack, defense, etc. For the moment, searching by specific card name, i.e. Blue Eyes White Dragon, is allowed, but that rule is up for debate. The game works on an honor system. As long as you and your opponent have gone over what is and isn't allowed before, then, you could trust each other and not break the rule. That'd be great. There are 3 versions of the format: Avatar Dueling, Pure Infinity, and Infinite Tribes. Today, we'll be covering Infinite Tribes. Whereas Avatar Dueling is very limited and somewhat anti-archetype, as it was made to slow the game down and bring it back to its roots of 1 to 2 summons a turn, with spells and traps really mattering again. Infinite Tribes focuses more on seeing what each archetype can do individually. It runs on the usual Infinity rules. Only in this format, though you may use archetypes, you may only use non-archetype supporting splashable monsters whose type and attribute match the types and attributes featured in the archetype, or ones that mention the type in their text. This doesn't count restriction texts, like the ones that are all like, for the rest of this turn, you can only special summon warrior type monsters from your extra deck. This rule can be kind of blurry, as certain monsters have effects that blur the lines. I'll explain more in a minute. As an example, if you're playing Black Magician, your only splashable options are Dark Attribute Magician type monsters, as Black Magician and Black Magician Girl are of that attribute and type. This is unless you added the Palladium monsters who are light. This would give you access to light magician monsters, such as Silent Magician or Ecclesia, or even OG cards like Chaos Command Magician. You could also add Dark Demon monsters if you play Magic Karibo. Now, Ecclesia is a monster from another archetype that has the written text to search for an archetype card, a Dogmatica card to be exact. The way that's handled here uses the honor system. She is playable because the natural rules of Infinity block her from searching the Dogmatica card to begin with. And her other effect doesn't deal with her own archetype. It's totally generic. Her other effect is when your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can special summon her from your hand. She also cannot be destroyed in battle with a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. As you can see, none of that has anything to do with the Dogmatica archetype or anything like that. So it's totally playable as long as you don't activate her Dogmatica searching ability. She's totally a playable and fair card in the format. See? As you can see, Though she muddies things up a little bit, if you follow the rules of the format when building your deck and you're sure to use the Rule Zero conversation before the game, all should turn out fine and fair. In a tournament setting, this is even less of a problem, as the host of the tournament is obligated to have all decks inspected by a non-participant and make sure that all decks follow the guidelines. It's because of this that the format works best in a tournament setting. As for spell and trap cards, in this format, you can use them to search your chosen archetype's cards. The monsters of your chosen archetype are the ones that are locked from doing so, so be careful. That is, of course, unless specified otherwise. So, just to repeat that and make sure you guys got it, your spell and traps can search your archetype monsters. You can use emergency call and go get a hero monster. It's pretty great. But you cannot use Stratos to go get a hero monster. You understand it. Now, most archetypes have answers to deal with threats already built in. They have counter traps. And, if you control a monster of this archetype, negate the opponent's card and destroy it. So they already have that built in. So you don't really need to be playing Solemn Judgment in that case. You know what I mean? Some archetypes have negate. So you don't need to be playing, infinite impermanence or anything like that. Like, you can, okay? But the whole point is to play cards that don't usually get any play. That's kind of the point here. So, if anything, I kind of want you guys to stick within the archetype. So it's truly archetype versus archetype. Yes, you can have a little splashable monster here and there. Obviously, you can use some spell and traps in case you have, a older archetype. Because the older archetypes definitely are not going to really stand a chance against the current archetypes. Like, the current archetypes are all like, kneel before Zod with my million powers. The new 52 and other comic book references that I don't actually understand. And, the older archetypes are all like, now could you pass me that glass of water, Sonny? Or something like that. I don't know why it has to be like a old lady. But the point is they don't stand a chance against today's new archetypes. That is unless the new archetypes have to go under the same rulings where they can't search with their monsters and they have to search with their spell and traps. And yes, their spell and traps may also search faster than the old stuff. But that's fine. The old stuff can keep up. If you look far enough, there's a way, man. There's a way. There is a way. Look at cards people wouldn't naturally think about. Okay? Keep in mind, originality is king. So regardless of this being a war between tribes, hopefully you'll all find it interesting. And you'll find cool and interesting, ways out of the box. Right? And maybe with that, you'll start thinking out of the box. And finding cool ways to make your deck. Right? Epic. Such as playing magical hats with crawlers or using cards like Draw of Fate. Remember, winning is only half the battle, and a true duelist focuses on giving their all and learning. A full rules list and coinciding ban lists will be in the description. Any questions you have can be posted down in the comments below. In fact, do that. I will answer them. I'll try to answer every comment. Now, looking to run your own tournament? I'd be happy to answer those questions too and help you set it up. Eventually, I'll be making a Discord to talk to all my viewers, go over things concerning the Infinity format, and duel with you all. Who knows? That may even lead to streaming. Lastly, but certainly not least, if you enjoyed anything about this video, or even if you simply are interested in Infinity format and not interested in me in the slightest because my voice is irritating, then hit that subscribe button and turn on the little bell. Now, I don't get very many viewers, but I want the ones who do watch me to stay updated. I thank you all for your time and patience with me. That'll be all for now, but soon I'll be releasing the video on Pure Infinity, which encompasses everything. It'll be a while before that vid, but there'll be some other projects I'll be working on for the channel, so stay tuned for that stuff too. I'm heading off for now, but remember, a true duelist plays with their whole soul. Later, everyone. Donson.